I used to have one of those.
Anyone know what this is?
Beating stick?
2x4.
Right.
Lesson.
2x4. I now call it my buddy. I brought my buddy along today because I want to share with you that while this is a piece of a 2x4, it's a support system when you think of what 2x4s do, right? They hold up houses and buildings and all kinds of stuff. They support us. And while it doesn't seem like a 2x4 standing on a stage painted in chartreuse might be a support system, I've learned that it's mine. And I'm hoping that by the end of my little chat with you today that you will also find it. And this is a chapter in the book 3 of Blue Talks. Listen to the whispers or get the 2x4. So my buddy and I will share with you today that today's meaning, in addition to support for the 2x4, is also to help you learn to trust. That's a tough one for some of us. Trust the whispers. Listen to the whispers. Recognize the whispers. Because sometimes we hear things, but we don't really recognize what it is. So I'd like to share a little, there's a few little stories that with your permission, I'll share with you today. And the first one is one about betrayal. Who here has ever been betrayed? Yeah, a few of us, eh? Who's here ever been betrayed by someone who you've mentored and worked with and just given your all to? So this is a story about business and my life in business, where I basically ran my business for the most part, aside from part-time assistants, for quite a while. I had contractors that worked with me. And I was getting tired of doing all the training and all the meetings and all the direction, and I was tired. It had been 10 years. And I still did a good job. My clients were thrilled, getting more clients all the time, referrals coming in. So it happened such that I had someone working with me for many years, and she wanted to advance more. And when I hired her, I'd asked her, what do you want to do? Where do you want to grow? She said, I have lots of skills, and she told me, and I knew she had them. And so we worked together for several years, and as I was deciding it's time for me to expand and do different things, she expressed that she'd like to start doing some training and working with some of my contractors. Well, I thought, well, that's great. That'll enable me to go get more business. She's got the skills. She could do the work. She, has been in a supervisory roles before. So I said, okay, we struck up a deal and we went forward. Well, I still continued to do my initial training with my contractors because I believed in putting everything I had into them. I gave what I could. I mentored them for, weeks on end. I worked with them individually because I wanted to make sure that when they were representing me with my clients, they were going to be doing a really good job, because my clients are everything to me, and so are my contractors. So I would train them, and then I would pass them off to this person as their supervisor. And they would, when they were working with me, they'd send me emails and notes and tell me how much fun it was, and they're so excited about everything and thanking me for this, that, and the other. And so I felt really good when I passed them. I was kind of letting my little chicks go, out into the yard. Well, a couple weeks later, they'd quit. And I was devastated. I had given weeks, time, energy, money, just my heart and soul. And I knew that these were good people. So this started happening more and more. And I'd say to her, I don't understand. They just weren't working out. And then pretty soon she says to me, well, actually, I have to tell you the truth. And I said, well, what's that? Well, they just don't want to work with you at all. They just want to work with me. Didn't sound quite right to me. Got that whisper. Did I do anything? Not then. Time goes on. 3 years go on. He's starting to think maybe I'm a little thick, maybe. She doesn't get it. And it ended up to be an almost catastrophic event in my business and an audible, I won't even say it's a whisper anymore, it was an audible and it was loud. And it said to me, fire her, she is sabotaging your business. And those were the words that came through. Fire her, she is sabotaging your business. So what did I do? Nothing. Said, go away. I don't know who you are, what you are, but that can't be possible. Who would do that to me? Why? Why would anyone do that to me? I would never do that to somebody. Never. I don't even care what they did to me. I wouldn't do that to them. This person, oh no, she's become my friend. I've worked with her for so long. Fire her. She's sabotaging your business. Okay. Didn't fire her. Felt sorry for her. She needed money. She was older. No, couldn't do that. No. Oh, no, that just wouldn't work. Well, one day, I got my 2x4. My friend. My ouch. To the point where it almost ruined my entire business. It certainly took a toll on my confidence and my self-esteem, because she betrayed me to the point where she went to my largest client, told lies and innuendos, and it was a catastrophe from there. One that I didn't feel I deserved, although I know things happen for us, not to us. So, listen to the whispers. I'd like to share another little story with you now, a little bit more lighthearted. This is kind of a good depiction of me driving down the highway in my Mustang that I used to love to drive really fast. And again, listen to the whispers. I'm driving down the highway. I'm in the far left lane, 3-lane highway, actually coming out of the city we're in now, Edmonton, Alberta, visiting my good friend who's here in the audience with me today, and her daughter, thank you. And I'm in the far left lane and I'm going. Traffic is going, it's a long weekend, and I'm keeping up, I'm leading the pack. I'm happy with that. All of a sudden, I hear, move over into the far right lane. I look, I think someone in my car. Okay, nobody's in my car. I was open to getting messages. This was before the other 2x4. And I say, I do nothing for a second, but I'm like kind of shook. All of a sudden, move over into the far right lane. Okay, now I know I got to do something. Traffic parts, like the Red Sea. I move over into the far right lane. My vehicle stops instantly. Like I have no power brakes, no power steering, no brakes, no nothing. It is dead. And I go, okay, thank you. Okay, I'm alive. Everybody's alive. And I think, well, what am I going to do? This is long before the days of cell phones. I'm on the edge of the city. There's really nothing around. Oh, I look over. There's a driving range. Oh, there's somebody there. Oh, well, I'll just walk over and use the phone. Simple, right? How about I just do that? So get out of my car. It was a lot younger. It was a lot easier to get around then. A lot lighter. So I mosey on over there, and there's a man there. I say, excuse me, sir. I've just had a little car trouble here. I was wondering if I could use the telephone. No, telephone's not hooked up. It's end of season. These are my friends. They just let me use the driving range. Oh, now what? Because he doesn't have a cell phone yet either. There were none. Okay, so he says, but I'll drive you to the next town, which was just a little further south. Oh, I think in my head, I don't want to get in a car with this man. I don't know who he is. And then I go, give your head a shake. He wasn't looking for you. You came looking for him. Maybe he's nervous. Like, what is with you? Okay, thank you very much, kind sir. I would appreciate that. Takes me to the next town, to the service station. We call the tow truck from the payphone. He will not leave me there alone. Turns out he was a doctor, very kind man. I think he was an angel. And he waited there till they came. Tow truck people came. They were lovely. We're driving along. And I say, I think it's a fuel pump. What do you know? They basically looked at me and said, like, you're a woman. Like, what do you know? You know, how would you know? I said, I think it is. I could be wrong. Get to my vehicle. They check it out. Yeah, it's a fuel pump, all right. Okay, well, lucky for me, I had been smart enough to buy AMA Plus, and they could drive me, tow me all the way to Red Deer, as a matter of fact, Tyler. And so we ended up having a good time. And I thought, look at all these nice people I met. I didn't have to spend any gas. Didn't have any wear and tear on my tires. Okay, life is good. I'm going to go get a new fuel pump. But I listened to the whispers, and I want you to just think for a moment, as I'm in the far left lane, had I not, and my car, and I wasn't the only one going down that road at the speed of light, what would have happened had I not listened to the whisper? I probably wouldn't be standing here today. I can tell you that. So that brings me to another time I should have listened to the whispers. And a little backstory to this is I was caregiver for my elderly stepdad for a number of years, 6.5 actually, and it got to where I couldn't really look after him anymore. He was falling and things like that, and I know he didn't want to go in a home, but I couldn't look after him. So I had to make the choice, and I made the choice with him. I didn't just make it, okay, this is what you're doing. I had that, I was the personal directive, but I wanted to make that choice with him so it wasn't so bad. And they come and they assess elderly people. And he was a veteran in the Second World War, saw action in the Straits of Gibraltar. So he had a few issues from that, nothing, earth-shattering, but it affected him. And I wanted him to have what a veteran who saw action in a world war should have as a young man. So I was listening to the whispers, I'll tell you then. He was going into the best place I could possibly get him in the city where we lived. People said, you'll never get him in there. You're never going to get him in there. It's going to take you at least a year. I said, have you met me? I had a 25-year-old young woman come to assess him. She's there for a couple of, oh, he's quite mobile. I don't think he's long-term care. No. I said to her, come with me into the other room, please. We go into the other room. I said, here's how this is going to work. You're either going to mark him as long-term care, or the day before I go for my surgery, because this is where this is going to come in, I'm going to take him to emergency and I'm going to have to leave him there, and it's going to be the hardest thing I ever do in my life. But you will have to deal with him then. Long story short, that was on August 10th of 2015, and on August 28th, we moved him into the best place that there was that he could be in the city. So I listened to the whispers because it kept saying to me, don't give up. Don't give up, you can do this. And so I did. The night before I go for my surgery, I go to visit him. And he says to me, Debora, don't have that surgery tomorrow. I said, why not? It's not going to be good like the last one. So I was going in for a hip replacement. I had already had my left hip done. My left hip was fine. Everything. Oh, I was so grateful not to be in pain for 9 years. I was just wanted it over. I knew that as soon as I was out of that operating room, the pain was going to be different. But you know what? I had that same feeling. So, guess what I did? I'd like to tell you that I canceled that surgery. But no, instead, I made up excuses upon excuses. The surgical team is assembled, everything's ready. Oh my God, if I cancel, somebody else could have had that spot. No, can't do that. No. Off I went. Long story short, my surgery went very well. I went home. 2 weeks later, they take out my stitches, and that night, it starts to drain. Well, I was given a lovely little gift in the operating room called a superbug. But as superbugs go, I got the best one. So, you look for your positive stuff wherever you can find it. Had to go in, emergency surgery again, washed it all out with antibiotics. Thought they got it all. Well, they didn't. 23 more days in a private room with your very own infectious disease doctor, not in the room with me, but you're assigned one. And 23 days later, I got to go home with my hip still draining, and I got a lovely little attachment to me for 3 months that continued to remove the infection. The infection infects me every day of my life still, because there's things now that they tell me I really shouldn't do. Don't be going and getting in public pools. Things like that. If I get an infection, it's going to affect both prostheses. So you won't be doing things like that, they tell me, with this. Now, I don't know. It's been, that was 2015. We're now 2022. I think I'm probably okay. But I'm listening to the whispers, and I'm not taking any chances. And had I listened, I wouldn't have been such a sick puppy. And that was about what I was like. In fact, this puppy looks a little healthier than me at that time. So I'm willing to share my buddy with you. And I tell you these things today so that when you do get a 2x4, because you will, I'm sure who's here has had a 2x4, right? Oh yeah, I'm so glad I'm not alone in the room. So when you do get one, stay calm. Just stay calm, because it's all temporary, right? It's all going to go by. There it goes again, and we're going to be okay. As all these stories that we've heard and these experiences that people have had, somehow people are getting okay. They've gone through their challenges. We all do. So stay calm and look for your wins. When you do recognize, pat yourself in the back, say, hey, I got that, alrighty then. And celebrate it. Oh, you don't necessarily have to have a big party, but do something. Have a party for yourself. And reward yourself, and continue to listen and continue to look for them, because they're there. They're not maybe as audible as they were that said, get over into the far left lane. But they're there. So I'm going to ask you just to take a quick second. When was the last time you got a 2x4 or an audible to tell you? And did you listen? So when you get one next time, I'd like you to remember me and my buddy. I'll share my lovely buddy with you, and maybe you'll just think of this instance and think about how it can all get better. So I'm Debora Hollick, the Smash Through Mentor. Thank you so much for listening to me.